Hello, are you aspiring HR professional or you're already practicing and you're looking forward to how AI can help you to optimize every of your process within the HR space? Here's the thing, you don't have to really go very deep into it before you even start using AI the right way. And what this video is about is to show you the roadmap you need for the space of 12 months to transition yourself into getting into the AI space without you even knowing. And we're going to be looking at a step-by-step guide for you to be able to do this. I must also say that there's no coding skill required for any of these things. All you need to do is understand some of the aspects or some of the tools you need to use at every point in time. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, oftentimes we sort of think of it as the generative AI. And what do I mean by this? What comes to our mind all the time is the platform like ChatGPT. Just putting in our prompt and we expect some level of feedback, and we can use those feedback either in an article or messages or emails, whatever platform you want to use it. But here's the thing, almost every tool we use these days are already incorporating intelligence into what we used to know. And the earlier you start getting used to some of these things, the better. So the goal here is to give you a 12 months roadmap that will help you to transition into the AI. And the cool thing about this is that you would oftentimes get to do some of these things and you won't even know when you become a pro, because they are just little steps that sometimes you may not even really know that something is changing. But when you accumulate it for the space of 12 months, then you begin to see the value which you've gotten within the short space. So now let's look at the first item I have. If you really want to go deeper into the AI space and you want to explore some of the things that is required, the first thing you need to do is to build your foundation and get quick wins. And some of these foundations are things that you're already used to. And I feel I must mention that some of the mistakes that we make sometimes when we try to get into some of these technology skills is that we are not strategic enough into learning some of these things. For example, new technology come out, you just start using it without more or less thinking about the actual thing or the processes required to really get the best out of it. And one example I'll give you here is sometimes when we buy appliances, oftentimes we don't read the manual. It is when we damage one thing or the other, we then go back to the manual. And sometimes, just imagine you have a manual, you have a guide, and you know the guide, you know the processes before you even start implementing anything. That will make a lot of sense, and it will even help you faster to get the value that you need to get at that particular point in time. So the first thing is understanding the foundation, and the goal here majorly is to stop doing repetitive tasks within your organization. So the question is, what are those repetitive tasks that you want to stop doing? And you need to understand these repetitive tasks from the point of, on a day-to-day basis, what are the things you do again and again that something can handle for you, like now the machine can do for you without you having to do those things manually. Some may be automating notifications, it may be automating some screening processes. But again, the point is you need to identify areas where you don't want to do those things manually again and just jot it down somewhere. Then of course you already have similar to tools like ChatGPT, Grok. Some of these tools are there, but one thing I must mention in this foundation stage is you need to also learn beyond using some of these tools just like that. There are courses around prompt engineering, how to properly push these machines, push this model to give you the best. Because at the end of the day, people just use these tools sometimes on the surface level. What you're trying to do at this stage is understand how to use this tool beyond just the norm, pushing AI to its limits, prompting it to give you the best of the best. Those are some of the things you need to cater for in this early stage. Also, one important aspect again is to prepare custom reusable prompts, because at the end of the day, you also need custom reusable prompts when you want to prepare job description. You don't have to often repeat yourself, because you know that I'm going to do this again. Prepare that custom prompt to help you do that every time you need to execute that task. All you need to do is just tell the AI to do, and it knows exactly what to produce without you having to tweak so many things. One important aspect again is to clean up your LinkedIn and also have a very professional resume for yourself. This is very important because sometimes we imagine resume as a substance that we often need whenever we want to apply for a job, but that's not always true. Sometimes you want to join a community, or you want to belong to something, or you want to go speak somewhere, and they will ask you, okay, can we get your profile? Can we get your resume? Sometimes it may just be that you're applying for one position or the other, or you're applying for one education or the other. It is also very important that you are able to put something together quickly and send to that body. And the cool thing here is that when you have that kind of thing, you don't have to oftentimes just create separate file, but there is a way now that you can organize your resume and just plan it in such a way that you can always tweak it, what you want there, what you don't want there. And this is what AI too can do for you, and there are platforms that does that. So at this stage, you should be able to do that, just to be able to give yourself some room in case you need to send something out about yourself at any point in time. Then in this early stage as well, you should start considering how you can find a way to run your resume screening the automated way, and platform to help you do this, at least we try, is resumescreening.ai. If you check the platform, you'll be able to scrutinize your resume at that beginner level, and they give you some sort of credits that you can use for free, and you can try it out and see if it works, rather than having to check some resumes manually. At least you can have that preliminary check with AI, so that you can then go ahead and review some of the things manually and save yourself time. Now, once you're done getting used to this aspect of artificial intelligence within 1 to 2 months, the next thing you want to do is to then start thinking about automated recruitment processes. Like, how do you automate your recruitment pipeline? Because recruitment starts from the point where you get the brief that there's going to be a vacancy, or from the point where you begin to conduct maybe skill gap analysis within your organization, to the point where you put out the job, people start applying, you start screening, you bring them for interview, you take them on a test. Just imagine all of those lengthy processes. Like, how do you automate that pipeline? And that is what you want to do for another 2 months, to ensure that you have all the skill sets to be able to do these things without having to at least reduce the level of manual aspect. Maybe not necessarily everything. Of course, when it comes to interviewing people, you have to ensure that you monitor the process in order to reduce bias. But at the same time, you need to also ensure that the processes are there to streamline whatever you are doing. So your goal here is to reduce time to shortlist from maybe a full week to under 4 hours. Something that takes you an entire week before could just be within little hours to get those things done. And these processes in creating the pipeline, they're going to be maybe Google Form or Microsoft Form, whatever your organization use, with combination of AI automation like platforms mentioned here, make.com, resumescreening.ai. All of these things are areas that you can sort of like automate so many aspects of it. And the cool thing here is that I'm going to be exposing you to resources that I have that you can use to learn some of these things. And the good news is that there are a lot of resources available for you to use and experiment some of these things I'm mentioning. Another important aspect is adding bias layers, because when you go through automation, sometimes AI may not be perfect. So you need to ensure that when AI are not perfect, you're able to know and you're able to help in whatever situation that whenever that arises. Another area is to create a strong resume for yourself. I think we've mentioned this before. This is very, very important because you also need to put your best foot out there. And this is very, very important. So whatever it will take for you to also prepare yourself personally and ensure that your profile on LinkedIn is properly curated, have correct banner, correct picture, correct descriptions, because at the end of the day, you want people to identify you as somebody who is AI driven within the human resource professional. So these are areas where you want to begin to make yourself available and visible within the space. One cool thing as well is that you can also track all your applications, your personal applications. So let's say you are positioning yourself for one role or the other. You personally can track some of the things that you're applying for, and there are resources to get you there. And the platform to also help you do this tracking is TealHQ. TealHQ give you that flexibility to do all of that. From month 5 to month 6, this part is when you want to transform your onboarding in 90 days. And your goal here is pretty much finding a turnover and reducing your onboarding processes by, let's say, 80%. And your figure may be more than this, but the point is you really want to reduce your onboarding process. Like when somebody joins your organization, like what are the automation that can take place? Because the moment you hire somebody, what is left is onboarding. And if your organization is not well structured, sometimes it's very difficult bringing somebody new into a system. But when you have all of these things automated, life becomes easy because your new employed would always get consistent notification of what is required of them, the information they need to read. And one thing I must mention is that the cool thing about these aspects is just imagine the possibility of having a process that gives your employee answers to every of their questions. One solution to some of these can be you having an automated chatbot rather than organization having the traditional SOP PDF that is difficult to read, difficult to find. You can convert all of those knowledge into chatbots where your employee just come in and they get instant responses. Just imagine a platform where, how can I apply for a leave, and they get a list of how to apply for a list and even example. Or you say, how can I write a letter to so ministry, and they get a sample and they get the how. Or I'm a XYZ position, maybe I am a software developer, what's my job description and how can I get my job done? And the chatbot just explains to them detail by detail and even tell them who they can go and meet in order for them to get help. These are areas where, it's going to really make your life quite easier rather than handing over a bunch of PDF to people, but you give them AI tool that have all the knowledge that they need in order to get the job done. All they just need to do is ask questions and they're able to get answers at every point in time. And also why this is very important is that the cool thing about when you think around automation is and how human work. Remember that every employee have their day-to-day activities. Sometimes them training new employee may be cumbersome for them, and sometimes they may not even have time. But when you have some of this automation in place, automation always have time in as much as they are implemented in the right way. And that's why this is also very crucial. Before we move on, I want to introduce you to my course on AI for HR. In that course, everything I am describing here were executed there. And all you need to do right now is to enroll for the course, and you will get all of this step by step in executing for the organization you're working with. And the cool thing again is if you wish to consult for any organization, the way I deliver the course is that you can use some of this template for any organization that comes your way. I can't wait to see you. So subscribe now, hit the link attached to the description to enroll. Moving on, we're going to also look at what you can do within the 7 to 9 months. And in this very space is where you are going to be building lightweight, affordable performance system. What does this really have to do? At the end of the day, the reason why you're employing an individual for an organization is for them to perform one task or the other. And you agree with me that the traditional way of tracking performance is through maybe quarterly, biannual, or annual appraisal. Those are the traditional way of tracking employees within organization. Now, right now, with the way technology is, you don't really need to wait for the space of 3 months before you even know if somebody's performing or not. So one of the aspects you could also track performances is within the weekly goals. You can begin to set weekly goal system that allow people know what they're supposed to do on a weekly basis. While the organization can have quarterly goal or annual goal, employees can begin to break down weekly goals towards that annual goal. And at the end of the day, you can track people on a weekly basis whether they are getting the job done or not, so that you can flag whatever needs to happen on time rather than waiting for the entire 3 months to be able to know whether somebody's working or not. And the cool thing with processes like this is you don't necessarily need to even ask your employee for quarterly review or annual review, because guess what? You're already logging into a weekly reviews that you could see their day-to-day activities without you really micromanaging them, and everybody at the end of the day feels sense of responsibility and getting the job done. So you can have this system, and the cool thing here is that some of these things can be started for free. You can start even with Excel spreadsheets. Just like we did in my AI for HR, you would see how you can start some of these things almost for free without you having to use any tool. Just things that you need are the day-to-day tool that you already use, your Excel spreadsheet, Notion, and also InstinctHub have a platform that allow you also to automate this. If you're interested, you can opt in for it. Now, finally, what you need to do within the 10th to the 12th month is to step into the HR leadership role. This is very important because at the end of the day, if you can obtain all of these skills, you've given yourself a better position to either create a new role for yourself, or just get promotion within your organization. Because if you're the first to implement this within your organization, you're likely to be acknowledged for it. Because there's something about innovation. When you introduce innovation into any space, the advantage you will get is, one, you're going to be recognized for it. Two, you're going to be the go-to person at every point in time. So having all of these things together are very, very important, because when you accumulate all of these skills, you're going to have to translate these skills into your organization. And how do you do that? For example, you can begin to let people know how you get your job done easily. You can begin to train other HR professionals within your organization. You can begin to show them how you save hours. For example, you can present your result internally and let them know how you save about 1,200 hours, which may be approximately 8 million naira. Whatever it is, you can just put your figure together and let people know, oh, look, within this space, I have gained or reduce so run time in getting some of these things done, and this is how I did it. You can begin to have this conversation within the organization. But here's the thing, I think it is also very important that right from the beginning of your adventure into this AI space, it will be very important that you do some set of standard analysis or pre-analysis even before you start. Take, for example, how many hours do you spend reviewing an employee, or how long does it take you to bring in new employees? How long does it take you to review an employee resume? How long does it take you to test them? How long does it... Just imagine all of those things. Although, according to research, it takes about 200 and something days to onboard a new employee completely. Yours may be more than that, yours may be lesser than that, but you need to know some of these figures so that when you make these improvements, you can now weigh how you used to do things versus how you do them now, so that you can give a better proposal to whoever you're talking to. Take, for example, it takes me about 1 week to review XYZ number of resumes, but right now I do it in 4 hours. You can imagine how impressive that is. But it really boils down to the fact that you also need to be able to analyze yourself and be able to tell the time being spent in those things that you do on your own prior to training. And this is really how we're going to wrap it up on this one. But before we go, I really encourage you to subscribe to the AI for HR. It is a practical course that will show you everything step by step. There are assessments, and there are also practical projects that will help you. The cool thing about the project, the final project, is a report that you need to prepare. And that report, you can publish that report. By publishing that report, it gives you an avenue to show your strengths within the HR space, and not just an ordinary HR, but an HR that has the technology for the innovation that any organization will be looking out for. And not just that, the course also comes with a certification of completion. The moment you're able to complete the course, we're also going to be issuing a certificate to prove that you've been able to obtain the skills that you need. And that's how we wrap it up on this one. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. Until next time, I'll see you in the next one.